Honest Abe supported the Dred Scott decision. So at this point, you may be asking, wait, dude, are you saying that Lincoln didn't fight the Civil War to end slavery? Yes, this is correct. There is no historical evidence to indicate that he did, but there is evidence to the contrary. For starters, Lincoln married into an affluent slave-owning family from Kentucky, the Todds, strongly indicating that even on a personal level, he wasn't an abolitionist. Additionally, and consistent with his defense of the slave owner Robert Matson in his legal career, on October 16, 1854, in a speech given in Peoria, Illinois, Lincoln stated that, quote, "I will not undertake to judge our brethren of the South. When they remind us of their constitutional rights, I acknowledge them, not grudgingly, but fully and fairly, and I would give them any legislation for the reclaiming of their fugitives." Close quote. In the 1856 to 1857 Supreme Court case Dred Scott versus Sanford, the legal right to own slaves in the United States was challenged when a slave, Dred Scott, sued his owner, John Sanford, for his freedom. The court ultimately decided that Mr. Scott could not sue Mr. Sanford because he was Mr. Sanford's property and did not possess any constitutional rights. By today's standards, this ruling is horrific. I know. But on October 15, 1858, in Alton, Illinois, during his 7th debate with Stephen Douglas, in a retort, Lincoln stated, quote, "I have heard the judge state 2 or 3 times that when he has stated today that in a speech which I made at Springfield, Illinois, I had in a very especial manner complained that the Supreme Court in the Dred Scott case had decided that a Negro could never be a citizen of the United States. In point of fact, it is untrue. I have never complained, especially of the Dred Scott decision, because it held that a Negro could not be a citizen, and the judge is always wrong when he says I ever did so complain of it." Close quote. According to the evidence available, this was correct. Lincoln's belief in white superiority was consistent throughout his career. He had no intention of making blacks his equals or part of American civic society. His plan was to eventually deport them all to make the U.S. a pure white-only country. Whenever he expressed his intention to abolish slavery, it was for this reason largely. But he was in no rush to do so, as long as it was politically convenient for him. On March 4th, 1861, in his first presidential inaugural address, Lincoln's very first policy-related statement was to attempt to put Southern slave owners at ease by stating, quote, "Apprehension seems to exist among the people of the Southern states that by the accession of a Republican administration, their property and their peace and personal security are to be endangered. There has never been any reasonable cause for such apprehension. Indeed, the most ample evidence to the contrary has all the while existed, and been open to their inspection. It is found in nearly all the published speeches of him who now addresses you. I do but quote from one of those speeches when I declare that, quote, I have no purpose, directly or indirectly, to interfere with the institution of slavery in the states where it exists. I believe I have no lawful right to do so, and I have no inclination to do so. Those who nominated and elected me did so with full knowledge that I had made this and many similar declarations, and have never recanted them." Close quote. Take a moment to process that. Lincoln also emphasized the importance of Congress and the states protecting the rights of slaveholders by enforcing and even strengthening federal fugitive slave laws, which legally obligated every state in the Union to return runaway slaves to their owners. Quote, "To the proposition that slaves shall be delivered, their oaths are unanimous. Now, if they would make the effort in good temper, could they not, with nearly equal unanimity, frame and pass a law by means of which to keep good that unanimous oath?" Close quote. He was basically suggesting that Congress pass a resolution affirming their commitment to return escaped slaves to their owners as an act of goodwill and reassurance to the slave owners. Additionally, in his 1862 State of the Union address, Lincoln offered to allow the seceded Southern states to keep their slaves until January 1900, along with financial compensation and a promise to remove all blacks to Latin America and Africa. Quote, every state where slavery now exists, which shall abolish the same therein at any time or times before the first day of January A.D. 1900, shall receive compensation from the United States. Close quote. While all of this is damning evidence supporting the case that Lincoln and the Republicans did not start the Civil War to end slavery, the smoking gun comes in the form of a constitutional amendment that they wholeheartedly attempted to have adapted in order to appease the seceded Southern states into peacefully returning to the Union. This amendment would forever enshrine slavery into the Constitution. Keep watching. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Vice Signal. If you like these videos, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share on social media. I think it's important that we get the message out there that the story we've been taught about Lincoln is a lie. I honestly feel like the implications of this lie are huge, and that this narrative is the foundation of the current empire of lies and corruption that the U.S. government has become today, unfortunately. So I think doing away with it will allow us to get back to the fundamental principles that this country was founded on. Thank you very much.